pull this down a little bit. Good afternoon. My name's Greg Wersal. I'm a candidate for Chief Justice of the Minnesota Supreme Court. Before I state my views and opinions, I need to tell you that the Minnesota Supreme Court has said that if I do so, that I also have to tell you that I maintain an open mind. So consider yourself told. Now, just because I have an open mind doesn't mean that it's vacant. Back in 1996, a little over 14 years ago, I stood before a group of people just like you, and I announced that I was a candidate for the Minnesota Supreme Court. And I went around the state telling more and more people. And the Minnesota Supreme Court decided I was having a little too much success. So they created a rule that said that I could no longer attend political party conventions and could no longer seek a political party endorsement. That rule took effect in January of 1998. In March of 1998, the Republican Party joined with me to fight a lawsuit, which eventually wound its way all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court. And with the help of the many people in Minnesota and the help of the Republican Party, we eventually prevailed. That case is now known as the Republican Party of Minnesota versus White. And as a result of that decision and the following litigation that finally was completed in 2006, judicial candidates, when they stand for election, can now state their views on legal and political issues. That was prohibited conduct. They can attend a political party gathering and seek a political party endorsement. And they can state that they are current or past members of a political party, and they can actually solicit money for their campaign. Now, imagine who in their right mind would have created a rule that prohibited candidates from soliciting money for a campaign. Well, I can tell you who. The incumbents. The incumbent judges created that rule. Well, now the doorway is open for people to actually run for these offices. And last election season, a district court judge was actually defeated by a challenger. Well, apparently they feel that one is too many. And now the judges are pushing a bill through the legislature to try to do away with judicial elections altogether. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our judges are out of control. And the only way we are going to reassert our control is if we can have free and open and competitive elections in this state. I believe that criminals must be punished. But in Minnesota, we have the second lowest incarceration rate because our judges are putting criminals back out onto the street that in other states would be sent to jail. And I believe in a right to liberty, ordered liberty, where you get together with your friends and neighbors and you decide what kind of laws you want to live under. But the judges, far too many of our judges, do not believe in that concept. They believe in law by judicial fiat. And I believe in a right to property, where yours is yours to do with as you wish. But our judges have attacked that right as well, most famously in the Kelo case, where the judges said that your private property is yours until the government decides to give it to somebody else. But ladies and gentlemen, what I believe is absolutely meaningless. It's meaningless. It is meaningless unless you have the right to vote, unless I have the right to run for the office. So, here's where we're at. We must have accountability. And to start with, we need to have a board on judicial standards where the process is open and transparent. And you heard Representative Severson talk about a bill to try to accomplish that very idea. The board on judicial standards right now is a black hole. I have filed complaints against judges with the board on judicial standards, and you never know if there's even been a decision, let alone what the decision was. I have seen judges totally, I think, out of control. I've seen a judge in Hennepin County who sent the bailiff out to arrest construction workers because they were making too much noise and disrupting court processes. He had all the construction workers brought into the courtroom and threatened them with contempt. Now, what were they supposed to do? Put some kind of muffle around their jackhammers? How were they supposed to do their work? I saw a judge in Anoka County say that he didn't care that there was direct precedent. He was going to do what he wanted to do. By the way, that direct precedent was a prior case of that same judge who'd been overruled. But being a judge, he thought he knew better. I have seen judges forget the bail laws in Minnesota. There's a judge down in Kandiyohi County who refuses to follow the bail laws. There's another in Hennepin County that had the same problem. So people are put back out onto the street that shouldn't be on the street, or should be on the street after posting significant bail. And ladies and gentlemen, if we're going to solve this problem, we have to have free, open, and competitive judicial elections, not the fake judicial elections where we've had in the past, where no one knows who the candidate is or what they stand for. And to those who want to take away our right to vote through this constitutional amendment, we need to say no. Hell no. Thank you.